I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about helping our clients plan their estate. When you look at planning your estate, you have to start with the fundamental planning and think about that as an umbrella over their family, their legacy, how they're going to control and operate their estate, and any of their tax planning decisions. So, this is a comprehensive part of their plan, but it's what everybody needs to start with. When you start looking, good planning starts with goals. And those goals can be related to the family, of course. How do they want to take care of their kids, their grandkids? What happens to the surviving spouse? All of those things are part of the family dynamics and what they want to accomplish with their goals. Of course, next it's making sure that we're meeting the family's lifestyle goals. We can't lock things away so that they can't have the lifestyle they want, now through the end of their life. So all of that has to be part of the planning goals. Next is the legacy. And I don't think a lot of clients think about this, but what is the legacy that they want to pass on to their kids, their grandkids, maybe their great grandkids? What is it that they want to be remembered for? And so it's not just passing on assets, but it's passing on the legacy. Of course, with all of our planning, we need to, talk to our clients about how do they want to approach their retirement planning. Retirement planning, many clients get caught up with just the dollars, putting away the money for the financial side of retirement, but do their planning and estate planning documents match up to what they want for their retirement? And finally, discussing with them long-term care. How is that going to be addressed in their estate planning? How do they have the money set aside either in long-term care policies, life insurance policies, assets set aside for long-term care? So all of this comes together to help them with their planning goals. And your estate plan should support the life goals that are all behind the assets. So the life goals, what they want to accomplish, what our clients want to accomplish, have to be documented and put it into these estate planning documents. So the documents it should reflect the goals, not the other way around. The goals are going to drive the planning and need to drive the planning. If you look at the fundamental estate planning and think about that as an umbrella over everything, one of the things that we have to start talking about is who's in charge? Who's going to control this estate planning now and into the future? When can each person act? And what are they going to be in charge of? We want to create efficiency. We want to make sure that these plans are coordinated so that we don't have a trust that says something different than a will that says something different than a power of attorney. We've got entities, LLCs, corporations, whatever. All of these things have to work together for efficiency, or we're going to just have additional cost and delay in managing our client's estate. And finally, having that legacy. What do you want your money to do? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? So, if you think about a proper estate plan, coordinates all of the legal documents, the asset flow, the tax impact, and of course, what the family intent is going to be. So, the documents need to reflect what our clients are trying to accomplish. So, good planning creates clarity. It creates clarity now and as it goes forward into the future. So let's look at it. What a properly designed fundamental plan should do. Number one is avoid probate. There's some states like California that probate is excessively high, but in every state it can be high. It's going to be costly. It's going to be, reduce, create delays in moving things forward. Maybe lock assets away from our heirs that should have access to it and be able to use it. But really, if you think about it, it's that unnecessary friction at death. At the time that people should be, the family should be concerned about taking care of their loved ones. The last thing we want to have is a probate so that we're now in front of a judge in court trying to find assets, trying to, manage the estate. If it's planned ahead and it's organized and documented, it's an easy transition, avoiding probate and having that unnecessary friction at death. It puts the right people in control. So our clients need to understand they're choosing the decision makers. If they're planning this ahead, they get to decide who's going to be in charge, when they're going to be in charge, and you're not leaving it to chance of potentially having a judge deciding who gets to be in those positions. We want to make sure that control is always determined and our clients are in control as long as they want and as long as they're able to. Those are things that we have to get. When we talk about legacy, it's directing how the assets should help the people and causes you care about. So it's not just about the assets, but it's what are you trying to leave behind? What are you trying to encourage? What are you trying to discourage? It's you care about these people and causes, how best to accomplish that. And finally, it's reducing taxes. That could be income tax, estate and gift tax. All of these taxes are a drag on the estate. They're a drag on the legacy that we're trying to push forward. So making sure that we have that legacy determined ahead of time and reducing those taxes best we can will make sure we can accomplish more of our clients' goals. And so, a good plan reduces confusion, reflects clear decisions about who should receive the assets, control the assets, and protect the assets. And the best estate plans are practical, not just technical. Everybody has to know it, understand it, and make sure that it's not so complex that it can't be moved forward at an easy pace. So choosing who will act for you. If we have a trust, we're going to determine who the trustee is going to be. Revocable living trusts, if they're properly funded, meaning all of the titled assets are transferred into the trust or into other trusts if that's necessary. But the trustee is the one that manages those assets. During mom and dad's life, they can be the trustees of their revocable living trust. They may or not be able to be the trustees of their irrevocable trust, but that's for another discussion. But the trustee is the one that's going to be in charge. When mom and dad pass away, the next trustee steps up. Whoever they want to be in charge is going to be named as that trustee. The executor will be named in the will. So in the event that we need a will or there's assets left out, the executor has similar responsibilities as a trustee, but it's done under the direction of the court inside of the probate. And so their job is to make sure the will, if needed, is operated to make sure, get those assets, get them found, and most likely move them into the trust if that's what it's supposed to be. If you have minor children, then we need to make sure that a guardian is named. That is named inside of a will because the guardian is overseen and appointed by the probate judge. And so having the person in charge of your kids, who's that going to be? Don't leave it up to the judge to decide. Make sure you've got your wishes put out there. And finally, having an agent under a power of attorney that is both can handle financial decisions and or healthcare decisions. If you can't make decisions for yourself, who do you trust? Who do you want in charge? And you'll name them under the financial power of attorney for financial decisions. Healthcare decisions would be under a healthcare power of attorney. These are the people that you want to have operating your estate plan, making sure your wishes are carried out. And while you're alive, there again in the revocable trust, you can be the trustee, taking care of your assets, managing while you're alive. As soon as you lose mental capacity or pass away, your next trustee steps in place. So the choices that you make matter, and the documents need to reflect those choices. With a properly planned fundamental estate plan, we're going to get that umbrella over the assets and be able to carry your wishes forward and make sure we have a plan that works. So I appreciate everybody getting on. If you have questions, reach out. If not, we'll talk again next week. Thank you.